Good morning, students, and welcome to this class of English. Today I, Pankaj Thapa, is going to discuss with you a new chapter which is a very fascinating one as it relates to a very important time period, a very humorous time period of a human's life, that is childhood. Children, childhood is a time which no one wants that it should pass away, and during our whole life we hope and imagine to go back to the same era, but which is quite impossible because the day past never comes back. So children, it's a nice topic. You would have a glimpse of your own childhood and you can relate it if it connects somewhere with your own childhood. Children, childhood is a time which has boundless enjoyment, boundless merriment, no worries, no tension, nothing to do which is extraordinary. Just you have to be with your parents or friends and just get fascinated with the beauty of the world. But as that child grows up, he is enwrapped with various troubles and problems which he had not imagined during his childhood. But children, let's start with this topic of today. And first of all, let's study about the person who has written this story, that is John Updike. He was an American novelist, poet, short story writer, literary critic, and art critic also. Who is a critic? And first of all, understand what is criticism. Suppose your friend says, I like pizza, and you say, I like burger. Then if you are saying no, pizza is bad, it is criticism, but actually it is not literary criticism. Literary criticism is something different, where we just count, pinpoint the loopholes, the places which the author forgot to discuss in detail, thereby giving our views. And critics are all the time not the only person who just pinpoint your work. They actually bring out the beauty of your work also. So as an art critic, as a literary critic, John Updike had contributed a lot. He was born on 18 March 1932 in United States in Pennsylvania, and he passed away on 27 January 2009 in same place, that is US. Actually, his works mainly relate to fiction, and he had got Pulitzer Prize, a very renowned and well-known prize in the field of literature. So he was awarded Pulitzer Prize for his works of fiction. Fiction and non-fiction, you understand very well, children. Many a times we have discussed in class. Fiction, which is not true, it's an imagination, and non-fiction is reality, which is true. He was awarded National Book Award for Fiction also, and Faulkner Award for Fiction. His notable works are Rabbit and Storm novels, Henry Beck stories, The Witches of Eastwick. Coming back to the chapter written by John Updike, as I have told you earlier, children, this chapter focuses on childhood. Who is a child? If we ask this question, so question itself is the answer of this question. See, I'm not confusing you. Queries, questions are a part of childhood. A child is inquisitive by nature. He will ask you questions. You cannot satisfy him, but you can make him prudent or wise by giving balanced answers. And why a child is inquisitive? Why he is curious? Because he is new to this world. She is new to this world. The child wants to know about this world. Generally, it happens that what a common person does, if a child is asking question, once the answer is given, twice the answer is given, third time only scolding is given, and fourth time God knows. So that is not the right way. A child will ask questions 10 times, 20 times, scores of times, and we have to be ready to answer the question if we want to make the child a balanced one, if we want to make him a person with balanced personality. So here's the chapter. Should wizard hit the mommy? The protagonist of this chapter is a girl named Zoana or Zo. And the story just tells us about the world view of a little child and the moral questions she raises. See, children are various kinds and types, but those who are inquisitive, they will ask questions again and again. So Jo was that kind of girl. In this story, let me tell you, the main characters: Jack, who is the father, who had two children, Joanna or Jo, a girl, and Bobby, a boy, and his wife Claire was expecting the third child. Jack had a habit of telling stories to his daughter in the evening time. Joe, as an inquisitive one, interrupted her father again and again, and she raised intelligent questions. And many a times, Joe was in a fix. He could not answer satisfactorily to his daughter. So children, it is the theme or essence of the story. If I talk about story, which has been referred to here, one day Jack was telling Joe a story about a skunk. Skunk is an animal which smells bad. Children, nature has made everything. Flowers are there, rose, such a nice smell, but some flowers are there who smell bad. The biggest flower in this world, Rafflesia. If you smell that flower, you won't like to go near that flower again. But God has made. Why? The survival of fittest. It is the earth made by God, and God knows why it had made the earth like this. Rose, Rafflesia, smells good, smells bad, but both are flowers. But children don't understand this thing if we explain them. Rose smells good because it has its requirement. Just because of the nectar present in the rose, insects come, and it is necessary for pollination also. Rafflesia, on the other hand, has to protect itself from predators. That's why it has that bad smell. You know, some insects are also there. If you catch them, suddenly you will have a very bad smell, and then you would leave. But what is it? It is the way the nature has made them to protect themselves. But does a child understand this thing? No. He wants everything to be good. She wants everything to be good. And she, I am talking about Joanna or Joe. So one day her father was telling her a story about a skunk, an animal which used to smell bad. Even his friends did not like him when he used to play with them, because Roger the skunk smelled bad. Roger is the name of the skunk. Roger turned sad because nobody would like to play with him. One day, somebody suggested, Roger, go to the wizard. Wizard means magician. Wizard, the wise owl. So Roger skunks visits the wizard, the wise owl, and requests him to change his bad smell. owl asks for pennies for this thing. So Roger offers the pennies. And Roger, now who used to smell bad, turned out to be a good smelling one. And when he came to his friends, everybody liked him. When that skunk went home, in front of his mother first was anxious, then curious, and then angry. Why? She said skunks used to have a bad smell, and that is their quality. Why you do have a good smell? So next day the mother of Roger skunk takes him to the wizard, the wise owl, and mother hits the wizard and asks him to change the smell. It happened, and then the skunk again used to smell bad. That was the end of the story. Now here comes the twist. As an intelligent and inquisitive child, the girl Jo didn't like this end. She wanted her father to change the ending. She said, "Father, mommy should not hit wizard. Wizard should hit the mommy and maintain the good smell of Roger." Jack says, "Okay, little child, sleep today, I'll discuss this thing next day." So next day comes and the girl again insists her father, wizard should hit the mommy. And anyway, the Jack says, "No, beta, wizard should not hit mommy, because mommy is the mother of Roger. She takes care of Roger." In fact, Jack the father had related the story with his own childhood. In his childhood, Jack was like Roger's skunk, who was not liked by everyone. And he iterated that Jack used to give respect to mother, the same way that Roger used to give respect to his mom. But as an intelligent child, as an inquisitive child, Joe didn't like the ending. Second day also, with the consolations, the girl slept. Jack came down to his wife, and Claire, the mother of the girl, said, "Poor child." As Claire was busy painting the house. Here the story stops. Children, actually we study this chapter through the eyes of a child. That what are the imaginations of a child? They all relate to fantasy, and they have their own world. So the question comes, what should we do? Should we tell them the reality? or let them enjoy their childhood? Again, from my side also, the question remains unanswered. The question is, should we tell the child the reality or let them enjoy the childhood? But I feel that children should be allowed to enjoy their childhood. But today's world demands something. So there are rapid changes in this world, and a child has to cope up with those rapid changes if we want to make that child a responsible citizen. So, although we should allow them to enjoy the childhood, but we must take care that they are not far away from the realistic world. I'm telling you example, children. Various mobile phone games are there. Children get lost in those games, thinking that is a reality. But in fact, it is not so. Gaming is a part of life. It should be considered as part of life, but not the complete life. So children, that's all about this chapter today. Hope you understand this thing. The next part of this chapter will be supplied to you in the forthcoming videos, where I will discuss this chapter in detail. So till then children, goodbye and thank you.